Hello and welcome to ReMIND once again, a place where we move beyond the frameworks and we talk about what it actually takes to build our people, our culture of the organizations, and their capabilities. And all this we do with the help of leaders who have shaped organizations while they shaped themselves. And we do this because we believe that leadership is one thing, but building human potential as a leader is few notches higher. And to do this conversation today, we have a special guest. Her name is Priyanka Pandey. Priyanka is the head of human potential for Bonas Engineers Private Limited. She's not just somebody who has managed HR, but she is somebody who has built it from ground up, shaping systems, shaping the culture, learning herself with trials and errors, and bringing in experiences where people can grow, they can feel supported, and actually enjoy the work they do together. So let's put our hands together and welcome Priyanka to our talk today. Welcome, Priyanka. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for honoring us by being here and being here to share your journey.
Wow. Thank you so much, Esther. It means a lot. And I'm equally excited to be a part of this journey.
Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you so much. I am excited, everybody, to have this conversation with Priyanka because the first time when I met her, everyone should know she's very grounded. If you meet her, the kind of experience that she has, but still with that experience, bringing in groundness is not easy. But I found somebody like this in Priyanka, and so it is an absolute pleasure to speak to her and learn from her journey. Priyanka, I want to start right away and ask you my very first question. And for that question, I want to take you to the start of your career, maybe. And that is when you started building the HR function from scratch.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm sure those were exciting days, but nervous days too. So I wanted to ask you, what did day one or week one actually look like for you when you started from scratch?
I think I was actually master's in biochemistry and a postgraduate diploma in dietetics. Okay. And I had begun my journey as a dietitian into wellness and had taken up psychology, distant education, general psychology. However, with family commitments, I decided to take it easy and pause for some time. When this opportunity from Bonnie's Engineers came to me by Mr. V.L. Malik, who is the founder of this organization, and later his son, Mr. Rishi Malik, joined in 2009. This organization started in 1995. And in 2009, Rishi Malik took over, and they were ISO certified by then. I was asked to look into the ISO systems, basically strengthening systems from an ISO perspective, as per the requirements of ISO. And since I was studying psychology, and I thought, okay, let me try my hand here and see what comes up because I was not wanting to do a full time job. And while I chose to understand and get deeper into ISO, we had to deep dive into the operational flowcharts of every function, every department, get into people dynamics, the stakeholders, and some ground realities to build and strengthen the system. I realized I quite enjoyed that process. I think it aligned with my strengths of addressing problems, changing behaviors, encouraging and driving performance, setting up people systems. So, first week or first day typically was just to get into the systems to understand. But over time, that journey, I think, was quite fulfilling when I realized that it quite aligned with my strengths, my personality. And thankfully, by the grace of God, the team here, and especially the CEO himself, is quite HR centric. So, all ideas with regards to new approaches was quite open. And frankly, although being a staffing solution, it didn't have an HR department, internal HR department. So I actually built up with the team. We built up ground up, the HR function and developed the systems, which beautifully evolved into a 5C culture, which we talk about, and so it shaped up quite well.
It's such a diverse shift, like from biochemistry to human psychology.
Yeah, I
And
shifted, I transitioned to organizational psychology in the second year. Once I
okay,
joined Bonnie's, I
okay,
transitioned there.
okay. That's also an amazing shift, to be very honest, right?
Yeah.
Uh, from the microscopes to the human microscope. Yeah. But if I read your profile, your designation says your uses the term human potential, Priyanka, which is like, it's very, very different from the traditional HR designations and roles. Uh, I want to ask you, what does it really look like in everyday work? Not just in philosophy, when we say that we are driving human potential, how does it look like in everyday work?
Yeah, I think I strongly am influenced by a philosophy that I have been following, a religion that I've been following, which talks about universal love, universal service. Okay. So I believe that each one of us, whether you believe in God or not, but there is this divinity within you, that that potential is connected to the divine. Our inner potential is connected to the divine potential. So I draw my I drew my terms from there, that resources are are not people. Resources encompass a lot of materialistic things as well, including people. Whereas potential is something which is limitless. And I wanted to drive that into our journey. And that's where, we moved to the term as team human potential. Even our email ID carries, yeah, team human potential. And when it comes to daily translation into our experiences and life at work, um, I think all that we picked up from the principles of ISO. There are 7 principles of ISO, okay? And they are like a playbook to run an organization, I must say. And these principles, we together gradually translated them into this 5C culture, 7C culture of commitment, care, communication, celebration, and community. So the 7 principles of ISO gradually evolving into a structured 5C framework, which was actually living those principles. So potential was all around, I mean, it got translated into various aspects of our journey.
That's really, really beautiful the way you shared and how it has come together with the structure, bringing the structure and shaping it into everyday needs, which are so well connected. And so it rightly connects to that human potential. So thank you for sharing that. But I have a curious question here. We all, whether it is an HR, whether it is the owners of the organization, the CEOs, they want to always build a culture of positivity, right? In every organization, everybody should be involved, everybody should be a part of it. But there are real challenges also in the workplace. People are different, systems doesn't suit everybody. According to your experience, Priyanka, in such two scenarios, how do we build a culture of positivity without ignoring the real challenges? How do we take care of that?
Very interesting. Yes. So I did have the basic understanding of wellness, the 4 dimensions of wellness: the physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. Um, and there is the science of happiness hormones. Okay. And, so with this understanding and philosophy, uh, I think what we started was there was a practice of serving daily. I'm just sharing some basic few baby steps that we took and examples, okay, to show you
That's
how.
exactly what we want, Priyanka. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they had a practice of serving daily snack, dry snack with tea, okay. And being a nutritionist, I mean a dietitian, I thought of seeing what can we work around it and make it more nutritional. Some baby steps taken to ensure there is physical wellness. We started with a practice of daily meditation for 5 minutes at our workplace, which still continues. And so every morning for 5 minutes, we play soothing, calming music, instrumental music, for colleagues to come and settle in, center and recharge. They come with so many moods and emotions. So this practice was very well accepted by one and all. And for 5 minutes, there was this music. Sometimes it is guided meditation, and at times it is this music. Besides this, what we realize that wellness does not just settle with meditation or some snack. So there were steps taken, but there was something beyond. That was recognition. Okay. So regular recognizing, appreciating, creating a culture of gratitude, okay, gratefulness and givingness. Settled in with some activities. Started building up rather with some activities. Peer learning is something which we started as knowledge sharing by the peers themselves. We identified certain micro skills which were needed, being a staffing firm, be it on recruitment, be it on payroll compliances, be it on compliances like PF and other elements. Peers themselves prepared modules, and they started presenting to each other, which still continues. So I must say, I can say that it is a peer-driven ecosystem which has gradually built up in the organization. So if you see, when they are sharing and they are, knowledge is in circulation, they are getting a chance to present. It also reflects that there is caring for learning and development. Okay, care does not just stop at that, or wellness does not stop at that. Clarity in goal sheets, transparency in communication. These were little elements which were built up in the system. Okay, with time, of course, and building that leadership layer, a strong layer which will drive the goal sheets, which has both the goals and values as the components, given equal weightage. Okay, so right from these steps to taking through these different processes, or embedding in the processes itself, aligning with the processes, I think gradually built positivity, where there is equal sharing, learning, and driving it together. We have also built up a decent orientation plan for all the new joiners. And these orientation plan has at least 10 modules. Okay. The basic HR induction with policies and a cultural presentation is done by HR, thanks to the team. However, there are other modules which are actually conducted by all the colleagues from different functions. Yes, and they have developed this beautifully. Of course, it carries a consistent message. They are coached, guided, and then they present. But they come up with the presentations for all the new joiners. And it's a systematic approach which is now executed since 4 to 5 years that we are doing it post-COVID times. So when people actually start owning culture, I think not just restricting to HR, positivity comes in. That's what I have realized, We are all chasing outcomes, no, Esther? We are all chasing outcomes, but that fulfillment, that positivity, that fulfillment, that happiness comes with this attitude of gratitude and givingness. And when the team starts contributing towards, in the form of processes, embedded in the processes, we realized it created that positivity. It created that stickiness. It created that wanting to do, how can I contribute more, and start aligning with the company vision and mission.
Like, I'm really, really so happy that you shared this, Priyanka, because I think each one of us wants to be seen. Each one of us have that desire to be involved. And if we bring in system which feels so involved, ownership automatically comes in. Very practical but very simple things that you are doing, which is it's not rocket science, but it is very doable. That's what brings in the simplicity, and I think that's what also helps your employees to own those processes, to be wanting to become a part of that process. Because many a times, a lot of frameworks which I have seen organizations create, they are so tedious, they are so complicated that everybody wants to keep it at arm's length. They do not want to be a part of it. But I think these small practical things where they feel supported, involved, automatically brings that positivity and ownership. If they start owning it, they are positive about it. They are already leading it as their own. So that's a great insight. And probably I will pick this for some of my clients who are struggling with it, to be very honest.
We are work in progress. So I don't say it's not a finished outcome.
Yeah.
But yes, to a large extent, I see this working.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And I mean, like, it's like when we talk about people, these things need to keep evolving with time, with pressure, with situation, with the environment, systems. So, but you've still raised the bar. You've still started where a lot of us feel skeptical about it. How will finance do this? Or how will it's an HR job? But I think HR has grown far beyond just the celebrations of festivals and holidays and attendance. Yeah.
Absolutely. HR ideates, HR strategizes, HR partners, and the more we collaborate with the hiring managers, more we collaborate with the managers for every activity, and together sit with them, brainstorm them, and get things going. It is completely owned, and I think that brings it. That drives human potential. The inner potential. Those employees feel complete. They feel cared for. They feel being a part of the system. The sense of belongingness comes.
Belongingness, yes.
Imagine somebody who is with us for an year and now is welcoming another new joiner with a module on integrity, or with a module on project allocations, or with a module on compliance. So he or she takes interest in learning it, giving mock sessions, practicing it, and then delivering it and welcoming a new joiner. I believe it creates a lot of impact on the new joiner and the sense of belongingness that brings in, the warmth and belongingness which this person carries.
Very true, Priyanka. Very, very true. I mean, like, this is the essence where the minute they start feeling that it's their own, we've already won half of the war. Yeah, because now it's theirs. So ownership, accountability, all those challenges automatically start settling down and becoming easier. We're talking about your industry, which is very dynamic and it is very fast moving, too much happening, too much competition. And so at some point, we have to talk to our people about their skills and performance. Right? And also, we have to take care of their growth in the organization. So when you sit across someone discussing their growth, what are some of the things that you pay attention to while having this conversation, which is beyond skills and performance?
as I just mentioned previously, that our performance management system also is driven by our goal sheets. Okay, but goal sheets have two components: both goals, what you achieve, and values, how you achieve. Okay, both have equal weightage. This has been right from the very beginning, thanks to the consultant we collaborated with and who also guided us here. Along with the core values of the organization, we have uh, another value of personal leadership. Okay, personal leadership and team building as a part of the goal sheet, as a part of the values. Now, the personal leadership descriptors and the values descriptors are very clearly defined. In personal leadership, it is about how did you help yourself grow? What kind of knowledge you acquired, in your tenure over the last financial year? In trust, what kind of trust did you build up with your peers, with the customers in case you are client front ending, the trust that you built up with your managers? Okay. What kind of knowledge sharing you did? As I told you, peer learning is also a part of the culture. So what kind of knowledge sharing you did? Any initiatives that you took? Okay. How did you help yourself grow? So personal leadership and teamwork, team building becomes a very important aspect which helps them reflect on their own. Because when they do self-assessment, they have to introspect and see what did they do and how can they build up in future. And they are consciously made to, apply the values lens for growth. So I think this is how, we have been driving this aspect as well for personal growth and professional growth, besides the skill sets and the performance. Does that answer? And what were you looking for? Was this
100%? I think the self-leadership part that you shared, that itself makes people drive their own growth. So we don't have to ask the difficult questions because they are already driving it all through the year. So I think that's an amazing way to make them accountable for their own growth and their journey.
Something which I always have reinforced with them is you are the CEO of your own role. Okay. Doesn't matter what designation you carry, but you are the CEO of your own role. So does that drive you enough to ensure that you grow, learn, enjoy the journey? Yeah.
And if it is not driving you enough, what can be done to, course correct?
Correct. Yep. Absolutely.
Wow. That's really wonderful, Priyanka. Thank you for sharing that part of how you drive people's growth and make them own it again. But in all this work that we do, when we are helping people to develop their potential, when we are helping the organization and the HR and everything to build up good culture, in your experience, I'm sure you're talking to a lot of people, industry experts. What is that one thing that you do as a leader today that you didn't do earlier, but now you swear by it while developing people?
First, developing clarity in my head is very important and cannot be compromised on. So clarity builds trust.
Correct.
That's very important. So I believe that building clarity internally first, ensuring the expectations are clear. Okay, what is expected out of the job role? What is expected out of the team? Is that aligned with the company objectives? And then build around it. So decision making with clarity, with values, is something we can never compromise.
Yes, very, very true. I think if for example, if I am clear, then if I have clarity for myself, I would take it forward with that clear head. So my explanations, when I put my point across, are going to be much sorted, I feel. So, and also the way you move things, because now you trust yourself to take it ahead because you're clear enough. So, it all comes down to self, isn't it? It starts from us. Yeah. If someone wants to build a culture where people genuinely thrive, Priyanka, a culture where people genuinely thrive, what is that one behavior that they should practice consistently to help this culture develop?
Tricky.
There are so many, but according to you, which is that one behavior, you know, which will actually, we all want to build that culture where everyone is happy, everyone is genuinely thriving. But what is that one behavior that, according to you, somebody should practice consistently to enable this culture?
Humility. It is.
Humility. I think you carry yourself with a lot of humility. So
It is. It is grace. It is grace of God. And thank you. Thank you so much. Us, each one of us is a sum total of all the experiences we have been carrying, right?
yes.
And each one thinks we have done the best. We are doing our best. So somewhere I think when in all humility we accept that and see, okay, what more can be done? It
Correct.
raises the bar for everyone.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think that drives. That drives and the culture thrives.
And I think the best of the leaders, if we sit back and think about the people or the leaders who've been celebrated highly, are humble and grounded.
Yes, there is so much to learn.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
That's where they are, where they are.
Exactly. Yes.
Mhm.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, Priyanka. Gives me a lot of food for thought, and also to see how can I work myself on this. So there were some amazing answers, Priyanka. Thank you so much for sharing honestly and humbly. But we are not done yet.
It's nice talking to you, Esther. It's a great conversation. Thank you so much. I keep learning from you. I think feelings are mutual.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. But now I want to take you to another round of our conversation, which is a quick instinct round. Just pick one, what feels right to you or what you follow usually. So this part of our conversation is what we call as this or that. I will give you two options. You have to pick one.
Okay.
Yeah, are you ready for that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Then let's do it. My first question on this or that to you is solo thinking time or bouncing ideas off people?
Solo thinking time.
Solo thinking time. Okay, I guessed this right, everyone. My next question, routine days or unpredictable days?
Unpredictable days.
Unpredictable days? I guessed this wrong. I thought you would be picking routine. Okay, wow, that is a nice one then. Okay, another one. Fix it now or let it play out a bit.
Combination.
Combination. Okay, we'll give it to you that one. Okay, do it yourself once or investing time to delegate.
Investing time to delegate.
Investing time to delegate. Yes, that's where the trust builds, right? Okay. Sending a long message or just calling.
Again, a combination. At times,
Okay, but if you have to pick which one,
pick up the phone and talk.
pick up the phone and talk. Yes. Okay, and the last one for today that I want to ask you is remembering conversations or remembering the details.
Remembering conversations or remembering details? Details.
Details. Okay, amazing. And that's what we had today for this or that. And you were amazing. I guessed one question. I predicted the other answer. And that's what was wow, a bulb on moment for you about you, Priyanka. So thank you for sharing that. Okay. We'll do another round.
Okay.
And it's called rapid fire.
Yeah.
I'll ask you a question, and whatever pops up in your head, no explanations, just answer what you want comes to your head. So, uh, it's just easy questions. Don't worry about it. Let's get started, shall we? Yes? Okay. One thing people always come to you for. Tick, 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 tick. Come on, Priyanka.
I need help for, oh, somebody has behaved like this, so what can I do?
Oh, suggestion to take
Okay.
suggestion on
Yeah.
somebody's behavior. Okay, amazing. Something that still surprises you about people at work.
Why don't they speak up?
I agree. Yes, it's so simple when somebody comes and speak ups.
Why
So
do they make
yes,
assumptions out of things? Just
I
speak
know, I
up,
know.
share.
Yeah. Okay. What's your instant stress buster?
Prayer.
Prayer. Wow. One thing you wish more leaders noticed about their people.
Each one is striving to do the best. Just give that energy, and we will see how they grow and raise their bounds.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I so agree with you. And I think you're living it, the way you move around, the way you talk to people. But I will not stray away from this. Let me get you back to rapid fire
Yeah.
and ask you if your work style had a tagline, what would it be?
A tagline for my work style. Hey, could you come with some
Yes.
innovative questions? Enhance the human potential.
Enhance. Priyanka Pandey, enhance the human potential. Wow. Okay. What's your 5 minutes reset during a hectic day? I think you have already answered, but do you have? Yes, it's the prayer.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. And the last one, something people would be surprised to know about you.
I love dancing to Bollywood music, and I can go for hours together.
Didn't expect. Really?
Yes.
Wow, that is amazing, Priyanka. I didn't expect this one. I didn't think, yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing. This one was the last one was a wow for me. So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for this honest and very real and grounded conversation. Nothing too jargon, nothing which is like too hi-fi and too system oriented and too technical. So human, uh, so grounded and so real. Thank you so much for bringing that humility to remind today as we had this conversation, Priyanka, because you have shown us with your conversation that building human potential is not just about big programs, but it is about those small, consistent choices that we help people make to be felt seen, to be supported, and to take ownership in their capability. And coming from you, from your experience, really, really enriched our conversation. So, Priyanka, thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for sharing so honestly.
Thank you. And doesn't this all lead to productivity, which we all want, isn't it? It's directly
Absolutely.
linked.
Absolutely. It's the simplicity that brings bigger results, I feel, rather than the complicated ones. And you shared it so honestly and so openly. So thank you, Priyanka, for your time, and for everybody else who's watching. Stay tuned. Listen to Priyanka. Send her a hi on LinkedIn if her conversation resonates with you, and we will come back with another conversation, a power packed conversation with another leader who's changing the face of organizations. So, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Priyanka.
Thank you so much, Esther. It was indeed amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priyanka.